when I was still a gangster. You know, I was called very different names like Beast, like Wolf. So when I came to Jesus, I realized that Jesus is love. Hi, my name is Richard Lovings. I am a Ugandan gospel artist, and this is VOYCE Gospel. I grew up with a very simple family, having 4 children with a single mother. You know, it was a hard life, so that everyone could be lacking human basic needs, you know, struggling to see that we live a better life. We had a very quiet environment deep in the village. Here in Uganda, when it comes to the villages, you know, you can find a neighbor when he's like 3 kilometers away, 2 kilometers away from you. So we had a very quiet environment. Richard Lovings, remember when I was on the streets of Kampala, when I was still a gangster, you know, I was called very different names like Beast, like Wolf. So when I came to Jesus, I realized that Jesus is love. Jesus Christ is love. God is love. So I was given that name by the moment I was saved. Richard Lovings. Lovings mean to be loved by God. I started my music career. Back then it was 2019 when the COVID wave came in. I remember it was such a tough situation that left me crying, that left me with wounds. So I remember that God never forsake his children. That's when I started writing gospel music, you know, encouraging people, encouraging the saved, encouraging the Christians not to, you know, to give up with God. I started listening to music or knowing about music when I was in P1. Back then it was MDD competition, music and dance and drama. So that's when I came to know, oh, there is music in life. I grew up listening to secular artists. I remember back then, secular artists were topping the billboards here in Uganda, Kampala. So we could listen to such artists like Eddie Kenzo, like Shiba Kalungi. Initially, I didn't know what Afro gospel is all about, but when I started listening to songs like artists, Rima Braze, Lakri, you know, I started realizing that I can do something in the kingdom of the Lord concerning preaching the word of God. That's how I came up with such music genre, Afro gospel, so that I spread the gospel to the world. I regret because the time I was in my school, I was at school. By then I wasn't born again Christian. I wasn't saved yet. So I spent all my days, you know, struggling, all my days spending my time and power and energy to things that are costless. Had I known that there is Jesus Christ who saved me, who died for me, I would have used my school days to preach Christ, because back then the school had over 1,500 students. So I wish that by then I was a gospel artist. I could have preached Jesus to as many people as I could. Besides gospel music, I'm a footballer. I like playing football. When I get time, I like playing volleyball, swimming. Yeah, those are the activities I do. Watching movie, going on the streets, preach Christ. That's the most case when I'm free. That's what I'm engaged in. I'm so glad that Uganda's gospel industry is growing at a high speed compared to the previous years. Yeah, nowadays I'm seeing new gospel artists are coming up with different styles, looking it for Christ, and it's really promising. Here We are having a quality audio producers that are really doing it well, quality gospel, promoters, videographers. Things are moving on well, and I know we are doing it for Christ. The problem I've been facing since I started is that, we don't know this part of distribution. When it comes to distributions, here in Uganda, we are lacking that. But I've contacted my friends in Nigeria, my friends in South Africa, and they have taught me how to do things on that level. And I'm so glad that everything is wow, everything is nice.